What's up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free Major League Baseball home run prop show for Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Now, just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a bunch. And we will get into the home run prop action momentarily. Had a decent day with the home run props on a smaller card on Monday, but again, didn't hit everything. But again, as long as we get some profit to roll over into Tuesday's action, it is Dinger Tuesday, so it is a great day to bet on some home run props. Now, just a reminder for everybody, these plays are meant to be very high risk, high reward. They are not plays that I recommend anybody dump their whole bankroll into. They're just plays for you to have some side action on, put some pizza money or some coffee money on it, and have some fun with these home run props. And then when you cash one or two of them, especially if you cash those big plus money payers, well, hey, those could be some really nice paydays. Now, I'm going to give out a lot of home run prop action today, so I'm going to give everybody fair warning. Just be forewarned, the home run prop action is going to come at you. It's going to come at you hard. It's going to come at you fast today with a lot of action. But, you don't have to play every single home run prop that I'm going to be giving out here. These are plays that I'm just going to have a couple of bucks on. And, I always recommend, if you're going to parlay any of these home run props, I recommend playing them straight, but I know some people like to parlay them as well. So if you're going to do any parlays, I recommend doing parlays above. If you're going to go 3 legs or more on the parlay, if it's within your means, I recommend doing a round robin. Play all the combinations of 2. So that way, if one leg doesn't come through for you, I mean, how many times, I say this all the time, how many times have every one of us, had one leg bust up our parlay and we don't get anything? But at least if you have the 2s covered off when you play a 3-leg parlay, you cover off each of those 2-leg combinations, well, at least you still win something if one leg goes awry. But still, like I said, that's the way to go with this, in my opinion, is if you're going to parlay everything, do a round robin, cover yourself off. But let's take a look at the home run prop action we did hit on Monday. I was leaning towards Paul DeYoung, ended up putting a couple bucks on him, and he came through for us. And so did Shohei Ohtani at plus 320. Actually hit 2 home runs in that game. So if you bet on Ohtani to hit 2+ homers, you made out with a nice payday there as well. But hey, now we roll over that profit into Tuesday's action. Now, before I get into the prop action, I want to remind you guys, I love interacting with you. So let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree with some of the angles I took on some of these games? Do you not agree? Do you have player props of your own? Let me know. Drop them in the comment section below. Love taking a look at what you guys have. And, sometimes I go into the comment section and put a couple bucks on some of those plays as well, because some of the home run props you guys put out have been absolute fire. So definitely make sure you're going to drop them in there. But if you're going to do that, please get them in there before the game start. They don't help anybody if they're not in there before the game start, and we're trying to beat the books as a team, as the Pickdawgz family. And none of this thank me later stuff. It's not a picking contest. I see people saying sometimes thank me later, even if it's a joke or not. That's not what we're about here at Pickdawgz. We're here to beat the books as a unit, one team, one goal, and that goal is to make the books pay us out and pay us out big. So let's get into the home run prop action for Tuesday. I'm going to start things off with this matchup between the Tigers and the Braves. And the only Tiger I'm looking at here against Spencer Strider, there's not many options for me. Detroit, not a team that's necessarily known for hitting for home runs against righties. And they haven't been hitting against righties, well, pretty much going back to last season. But I'll go with Jake Rogers for a home run at plus 900. It's a nice payout here. Strider, he is allowing a 10.1% barrel rate this year. He's allowed a home run in 5 straight starts and 7 home runs total in that 5-start span. Rogers hitting .333 with a pair of homers in the last week against righties, has a 17.5% barrel rate in a small sample size this year. So give me Jake Rogers at plus 900. Now I'm going to look at a trio of Braves on the other side against Reese Olson. Olson pitched well in his debut, but it's still going to be a tough task here to deal with the Braves. I'm going to look at Ozzie Albies for a home run at plus 600. Now, like I said, Olson didn't give up a whole lot in his major league debut, but Albies, he's been one of the hotter hitters for Atlanta against righties. 4 home runs in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching. 2 in the last week alone with a .263 batting average in the last 7 days against righties. So give me Ozzie Albies at plus 600. Also going to look at Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 335, hitting .292 with a home run and 3 extra base hits in the last week against right-handed pitching. He also has a 16.1% barrel rate this season. So give me Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 335. I'm also going to look at Sean Murphy for the Braves at plus 425. a 17.4% barrel rate this season. He's hitting 267 with a home run in the last week against righties. So give me Sean Murphy for a home run at plus 425. I'm going to go to this matchup now between the Blue Jays and the Orioles. I'm going to look at a pair of batters on both sides here. First one I'm going to look at is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 425. For me, Guerrero Jr.'s splits are still crazy. All 9 of his home runs this season have come on the road, and in his career, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting .316 with 4 home runs against Baltimore's Dean Kramer. He's allowed 5 home runs in his last 5 starts and 7 home runs in his last 5 starts against the Blue Jays, also giving up a 10.5% barrel rate, while Vladimir Guerrero Jr. sitting at 13.9%, second on the Blue Jays. I'm going to go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 425. I'm also going to look at Bo Bichette for a home run at plus 650. As long as we keep getting these prices, I'm going to keep taking Bo Bichette, who has 3 home runs in the last 2 weeks against righties, and he has 9 career home runs at Camden Yards, his most of any visiting ballpark. So give me Bo Bichette here at plus 650. Now I'm going to go look at a couple of Baltimore Orioles here. I'm going to look at... before I do, I'm also leaning towards Dalton Varsho, who does have 3 homers against righties in the last 2 weeks, and George Springer, who's hitting .353 with a home run in the last week against righties. Right now, those are just leans for me. I might make them official plays later on throughout the day, put a couple bucks on them. But if you're here, if you're got to this point, you're getting an Easter egg from me right now. Dalton Varsho and George Springer, I think, are worth a look as well for the Blue Jays. On the other side, though, I'm going to go with Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles at plus 410. Great price on Henderson, in my opinion. He's hitting .438 with 3 home runs in the last week against right-handed pitching. Now, Chris Bassett, starting for the Blue Jays, hasn't allowed a ton, but he has given up 6 home runs in his last 4 outings, including 5 of those on the road where he kind of got lit up by Minnesota and Tampa Bay, I believe it was. Now, Henderson, he's hitting really well right now. He's second on the O's with a 13.8% barrel rate. So give me Gunnar Henderson at plus 410. Also going to look at Ryan O'Hearn at plus 390. He's third on the Orioles in barrel rate at 12.5% in a small sample size, hitting .467 with a pair of home runs in the last week against right-handed pitching. So give me Ryan O'Hearn at plus 390. Now I'm going to look at the Subway Series between the Mets and the Yankees. Surprisingly, not as much meat on the bone for me in this matchup as I thought there was going to be. But one name I do really like, Francisco Alvarez at plus 480. He has 4 home runs in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching. Luis Severino, he's had issues for the Yankees in his small body of work, posting a 14.3% barrel rate this season, allowing 7 home runs in his last 3 starts. Francisco Alvarez posting an 11.5% barrel rate at the dish. So give me Francisco Alvarez at plus 480. I was trying to look at the Yankee lineup against Max Scherzer. As Scherzer, he can run hot and cold, especially against the Yankees in his career. But the only bat I may like is Giancarlo Stanton, given his career head-to-head with Max Scherzer. He's had the better of Scherzer in career meetings, but came on in a pinch hit role yesterday. Maybe he's banged up. I haven't seen if he's starting today. But if you're going to look at a Yankee, I would maybe look at Giancarlo Stanton. But I'm going to go to the matchup now at Fenway between the Red Sox and the Rockies. And I'm going to go with Rafael Devers for a home run at plus 280. I'm going to take a shot on Devers here. Chase Anderson for the Rockies allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. And Devers still has a 12.9% barrel rate this season, has a pair of home runs and a .300 batting average in the last week against righties. So give me Rafael Devers for a home run at plus 280. Also going to switch dugouts, going to go with the Rockies. I'm going to go with the only Rocky I like here, Nolan Jones at plus 540. He's got a pair of home runs in the last week with a .538 batting average against right-handed pitching. I'm not a Cutter Crawford fan by any stretch. I think Jones, as the hot hand for the Rockies right now, is worth a look. So give me Nolan Jones at plus 540. Also going to look at Jock Peterson for the Giants here, switching up to the Giants and Cardinals game. Jock Peterson at plus 400. He sat on Monday with the Giants facing a lefty. That's basically been the case for Peterson all year. Plays against righties, sits against lefties. But against a right-handed pitcher in Jack Flaherty, I expect Peterson to go here, and he's hitting .450 with a pair of home runs in the month of June against right-handed pitching. So give me Jock Peterson at plus 400. Also going to look at Thairo Estrada here at plus 650. He's worth looking at here as a nice value option. He's hit 3 home runs in June against right-handed pitching. So give me Thairo Estrada at plus 650. Also going to look at Nolan Arenado at plus 575. Again, another fantastic price in my opinion with Arenado here, hitting 464 with 4 home runs against righties in the month of June. Alex Cobb, he's given up just 3 home runs in his last 4 starts, but all 3 of those home runs came on the road. He is giving up a lot of hard contact. Arenado also in his career, 3 for 6 against Cobb with a home run. So give me Nolan Arenado for a dinger at plus 575. Also going to look at Jordan Walker at plus 750. Right now, leaning Walker's way, he does have a 10% barrel rate in a small sample size this season, hitting 393 with a pair of home runs against righties so far in June. So give me Jordan Walker at plus 750. I'm going to look at a trio of Chicago Cubs here. Took me a while to get it out, but I got there eventually. We're going to go with Jack Suwinski for a home run at plus 330, hitting 267 with a pair of home runs in June. Also 2 for 3 in his career with a home run against Jameson Taillon. Took Taillon yard in his lone start against his former team last season, where Taillon allowed a pair of home runs and 5 earned runs. And Taillon, let's be honest about Jameson Taillon. He has sucked for much of this year, and he's allowed a pair of home runs in his last road start. Suwinski also leads the Pirates with a 17.4% barrel rate, while Taillon allowing an 11.9% barrel rate on the mound this season. So give me Jack Suwinski for a home run at plus 330. Also going to look at Ke'Bryan Hayes at plus 650, hitting 480 with a home run in the month of June against righties. Like I say, he's absolutely belting right-handed pitching right now. We always seem to get decent value with Ke'Bryan Hayes, so give me Ke'Bryan Hayes here at plus 650. And I'm also going to look at Brian Reynolds at plus 350. It's been a while since Reynolds has gone yard, but he is hitting 375 in June so far against righties. This feels like a good spot to take a shot on him against a reeling starter in Jameson Taillon. So I'll take Brian Reynolds here at plus 350. I also think it's worth noting that, Pirates starter Luis Ortiz has a 13.4% barrel rate this season, so worse than Jameson Taillon. But the Cubs, dead last in baseball in team OPS against righties in the last 2 weeks. No matchups really stood out for me there for the Cubs, so take that for what it's worth. But nothing for me on the Cubs in that start. But before we continue to our second half of the Home Run Prop Show, I want to remind everybody, obviously the purpose of this Home Run Prop Show is to put you guys on some free Home Run Prop winners, but it's also to highlight the benefits of using these betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Plays. These betting tools are 100% free, and what they're going to do is they're going to show you, the graphics for these player prop things. We get them exactly straight from the source of these betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Plays. They show you the player prop. They show you how often they hit, and they show you which sportsbook is giving you the best possible price. The nice thing about that is the sportsbook is showing you, if you don't have an account with them, you click on that price, you sign up for a sportsbook bonus offer on us, you get to play that best possible price while also adding to your advantage over the books, which the one thing they can't take away from you is your ability to shop lines and find the best possible price. There's also other tools on there. If you like betting hot and cold streaks, there's a trends, hot and cold trends, there's a streaks tool there. There's parlay builders if you're a parlay bettor. Profitable teams and angles, profitable underdogs, you name it. The list goes on. And I say it every day, I could probably do a show for an hour or two for the day's action, just using those betting tools to make free picks. And like I said, when you're doing this, and trying to make money sports betting, those betting tools are a huge tool to have on your belt. So definitely something that you guys want to make sure that you go on over and check out at Pickdawgz. But let's get back into the home run prop action for Tuesday. And I just want to say this, I'm going to put this out there. I think this is the first time this season I'm saying this, but I could make a case for almost any bat for the Cincinnati Reds on Tuesday. It's Jordan Lyles Day. Lyles has allowed a league-high 18 home runs this season. The Reds hitting righties fairly well in June. I think a case can be made across the board. Ellie De La Cruz, probably my best of the bunch, but Matt McLain hitting .311 with 5 extra base hits in the month of June. Spencer Steer's got power, we know this. Jonathan India, Stuart Fairchild, Tyler Stevenson, Jake Fraley all have a pair of home runs in June against righties. Fraley hitting .368 as well against righties. I don't think you could tell me a name for a Reds day that I'd be able to argue against. So that take that for what it's worth. But if we're looking at any Kansas City Royals in this matchup, we're going to go with a couple here. Nick Prado first at plus 540, hitting a pair of home runs with a .243 batting average in the last 30 days against left-handed pitching. Not looking to back a ton of Royals here, but Brandon Williamson, You got to look at least something here, I think. He's given up 6 home runs in his first 5 major league starts, including 3 last time out. Also worth noting that 5 of those have come at home at Great American Ballpark. And he is on the road here, so maybe that'll play towards Williamson's favor. But for a matchup, I would lean towards Nick Pratto at plus 540. Also going to look at Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 400. He hasn't been hitting lefties for power as much lately, but still hitting 353 with a pair of blasts in the last 30 days against Southpaws. And Witt Jr., he's been the most trustworthy bat against lefties for the Royals this season, in my opinion. So I'll take Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 400. Also going to look at a few Mariners and Marlins props here. I'm going to go first Teoscar Hernandez at plus 525, hitting 381 with a pair of home runs in the month of June against right-handed pitching. I love Edward Cabrera, but he sucked on the road this year. An ERA around 6. He is allowing an 8.6% barrel rate this season, so take a shot on Teoscar Hernandez at plus 525. For the Marlins, going to look at Jorge Soler at plus 460, hitting 320 with a pair of home runs against righties in the month of June. Looks to be back on track for power. George Kirby has allowed 6 home runs in his last 4 starts, including 4 in 1 home game against the Pirates. The Marlins bats, they've been hot lately, and I like Soler here, so give me Jorge Soler at plus 460. Also for the Marlins, Jesus Sanchez at plus 600. He is starting to cool off a bit, but he still has 3 home runs in June against right-handed pitching. He's hitting for power and can be all or nothing, but I really don't mind the value here at plus 600 on Jesus Sanchez. Maybe also lean towards Garrett Cooper as well. A pair of home runs and a 250 batting average in the month of June against righties, so take that for what it's worth as well. But what we will go with here to our last couple of matchups, the first one, the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. I'm going to start with Kyle Schwarber at plus 325. He's hitting 217 in June against right-handed pitching, but in his career against Diamondback starter Zach Davies, Schwarber has 6 hits, with 4 of those going for home runs, just a proven home run hitter in this matchup. I'll back him here at plus 325. Also going to look at Nick Castellanos at plus 575, hitting 333 with a home run in his career against Zach Davies, also hitting 414 with 3 home runs in June against right-handed pitching. So give me Nick Castellanos at plus 575. And the only Diamondback in to roll with here, but it's a play I really like, Corbin Carroll at plus 480. Now, there's a few things going into this play for me. From a statistical perspective, Carroll is hitting 467 with a whopping 10 extra base hits and 4 home runs in the month of June against righties. But from a personal perspective, Carroll was hit by pitches twice on Monday. It resulted in the benches clearing, a lot of arguing. I think Carroll took that a little bit personally. And I think he clubs one off of Zach Wheeler here, who already allowed a pair of home runs against the Diamondbacks in a start against them earlier this season. So I'll take Corbin Carroll at plus 480. Also going to look at our last game here, the Dodgers and the White Sox. Going to go with some familiar faces here. I'm going to go with first JD Martinez, plus 380. I may have to start taking a look at laying off of Martinez, but for right now, he still has 4 home runs in June against right-handed pitching. Lance Lynn still tied for the second most home runs allowed this season with 16. And for me, it doesn't matter where Lance Lynn pitches. 8 home runs for Lynn have come on the road, 8 have come at home. He's allowed a 10.6% barrel rate on the mound this season, while Martinez leading the Dodgers in barrel rate at 17.9%. So give me JD Martinez at plus 380. Also going to look at Mookie Betts at plus 390. Still hitting 310 with a pair of home runs in June against, and in his career against Lance Lynn. Betts hitting 313 with a home run. So give me Mookie Betts for a home run at plus 390. And I'm also going to close things out by looking at Luis Robert for the White Sox at plus 440. Hitting 276 with a pair of home runs in the month of June against right-handed pitching. Tony Gonsolin, he hasn't allowed much for the Dodgers, but I think if any White Sox bat is going to get him, I think it should be Robert Jr., who has a 13.3% barrel rate this season. So give me Luis Robert at plus 440 to round things out. But we will take a look at the home run props that we did give. I will do a quick recap here, and I have a surprise for you guys once we're done here. But we'll start things off with Jake Rogers for the Tigers at plus 900. Also going to look at for the Braves in that matchup, Ozzie Albies at plus 600. Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 335. And Sean Murphy at plus 425. For the Blue Jays, we're going to go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 425. Bo Bichette at plus... skipped one there. Bo Bichette at plus 650 for the Jays. And now it's your turn. Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles at plus 410. Also for the Orioles, Ryan O'Hearn at plus 390. Francisco Alvarez for the Mets here at plus 480. Also, was leaning towards the Yankees. If you're going to look at anyone there, I think you look at Giancarlo Stanton in a lean as well. And also for leads for the Blue Jays, going back to that, Dalton Varsho and George Springer as well, like I mentioned earlier. But for the Red Sox and Rockies match, we're going to look at Rafael Devers at plus 280. Nolan Jones at plus 540. For the Giants, we're going to go with Jock Peterson at plus 400. Taro Estrada at plus 650. Nolan Arenado at plus 575. Jordan Walker at plus 750. For the Pirates, against the Cubs, Jack Suwinski at plus 330. Brian Hayes at plus 650. And also for the Pirates, Brian Reynolds at plus 350. Like I said, I think you can make a case for pretty much any Reds bat. Go back and listen to my analysis on that if you want to hear names that I think you could potentially throw down for the Cincinnati Reds. But for the Kansas City Royals, Nick Pratto at plus 540. Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 400. Teoscar Hernandez at plus 525. Jorge Soler at plus 460. Jesus Sanchez at plus 600 for the Marlins. Maybe a lean towards Garrett Cooper as well for the Marlins. For the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber at plus 325. Nick Castellanos for the Phillies as well at plus 575. Corbin Carroll for the Diamondbacks, switching dugouts at plus 480. And in our last matchup of the day, J.D. Martinez for the Dodgers at plus 380. Also for the Dodgers, Mookie Betts at plus 390. And Luis Robert for the White Sox at plus 440. Now, in honor of Dinger Tuesday, and a lot of people ask for a parlay. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to be giving out parlays on this home run prop show every single day. I understand you guys want parlays. The thing is that I give out so many here that I don't always bet parlays. I bet just a lot of these straight. And if I bet a parlay, it'll be maybe 2 legs. But again, there's just so many options here. I don't want to handcuff anybody to stick into just 2. And to be honest, I like a lot of these. So it's hard to narrow down to just a 2 or a 3 leg parlay. But today, what I will do in honor of Dinger Tuesday, and I know a lot of people like betting the parlays, I will give you a 4 leg parlay that I like. But I would strongly recommend round robining the combinations by 3 and by 2s, just so that you have a safety net. So in case 1 or 2 of these go awry, you still win something. If you put $1 down on a 4 leg round robin, the combination of 4, 3, and 2, $1 will cost you $11. $2 will cost you $22, $5.55, and so on. So the legs we'll look at here: Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 425. Francisco Alvarez at plus 480. Nolan Arenado at plus 575. And Corbin Carroll at plus 480. And that'll be my 4 leg parlay for this home run prop show. But thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. We're up over 131,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Couldn't have done it without your guys' love and support. So thank you for that. And make sure that if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. And if you love this content, please make sure you leave a thumbs up. It really helps us out a ton. And if you're looking to get the notifications, make sure you have those notifications turned on so you can be the first to be in the know when this newest content drops here at Pickdawgz. Like, we don't always have the luxury, like we do on Tuesday, of all evening action. Sometimes I think Wednesday there's going to be some afternoon baseball. Thursday there usually is, especially on the weekends as well. I try to get these videos out as early as possible, but sometimes, as much as I like waiting for late information or lineups or even odds to be released, I got to get these out to you guys at some point to be able to get, so that you can get these prices in. So if you have notifications turned on, you get the notification as soon as the video drops, and you can get these best possible prices in on these home run props as well. If you are looking for the games that I do love the most, though, including my daily $19 best bet, the games I'm the most confident in, head on over to pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. And I implore everyone, please, while you're at Pickdawgz, while you're at Sports Chat Place, check out these betting tools. They are 100% free. They will be a strong asset in your back pocket, a great tool on your belt for when you're making your best bets for the day's action, whether it's games, sides, totals, player props, you name it. These are tools that you want to have on your side. Thanks for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Let's crush the books on Tuesday.